You went to pause for station identification twice. All right, we just had. We're going to go down to one room because we lost a team. So we're gonna be comparing records and seeds and all that sort of stuff. That we had the middle win just going to New York, the high win just going to the Z team, and McQuantico going out with a low. So we are now left, and downstairs it looked for a while like New Testament was going to win. Then it looked like Faith might lose, and now go that. So can we get a score downstairs? All right. But after 15 questions entering the air zone, it was 100 to 100 to 60. So the way that quiz went, not the quiz you saw, the other quiz, is you had Faith South Carolina jump out to an early lead and then kind of sit back, make some errors, fall down, and New Testament come up. Well, then New Testament decided they were going to join in the error brigade, and they made a few errors, and Falls became the beneficiary. So with the way that has changed momentum at least 2 times, it's possible it changes momentum again, and we don't know what's going to happen. But we know this: there will be 2 buys. Not there will be 2 buys. If Falls loses, there will be 2 buys. Yes, what do we have? Faith South Carolina has 140. Falls? What does Falls have? All right. Okay, so New Testament has fallen down even further. So it looks like they're going to lose. If, in fact, they lose, the bye will go to Faith South Carolina with the most quizzes. So Faith South Carolina will get the bye. If somehow New Testament survives and Falls ends up getting the low, Falls will join Faith South Carolina in the bye. But Faith South Carolina has the most number of quizzes, along with the Z team, and they had a better seed than the Z team. So, okay, that's not a very good description. All right, but it looks like, based on our reports, that New Testament's going to end up being the team that gets the low. So it looks like we're going to have 4 teams left, and they're going to be Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, Faith South Carolina, and the Z team, which are 3 of those were the top 3 seeds in the morning, and then Falls Lightning was the 7th seed. In fact, we thought they were going to be the 6th seed, and they decided to come back and lose in order to fall down to the 7th seed right before it started. So those are the teams we have left, and we go from there. So anyway, here we are. We have 5 teams left as of this moment. But it looks like this moment is almost over, and we're going to have 4 teams left. So those teams are going to be Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, Faith South Carolina, and the Z team. Who got the low? New Testament got the low. All right. You guys want to go tell Mr. Douglas that Faith South Carolina gets the bye? All right, go tell him. Hurry, go. Go with him. All right. So that means we're going to have Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and the Z team. Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and the Z team. Who ended up getting the high win in that quiz? Okay, so Falls got the high. So Falls ended up getting the high. Faith got the middle, and New Testament got the low, and it was 150 to 90 to 80. That quiz changed momentum so many times. I don't know how it's anyway. That's what happened. So we have New Testament. Look, the first trip here to get 5th place. That's an astounding display. I know they're disappointed, and they didn't get a single bye in the tournament, which is really tough. It's tough to go through 7 rounds and not get a bye. Just for a frame of reference, New Testament quizzed 7 times. Heritage New York quizzed 4. So, look, they got the rough end of the scheduling, and that's tough. You can't, you do control that in that when you high win, in the proper quizzes, you get buys, and they didn't get any high wins, and that's why they didn't get any buys. But that's a rough. Having 7 quizzes in the same time period that Heritage New York has 4, that's a tough go. That is something I would consider when looking at it. When a team quizzes 7 times while other teams are only quizzing 4 times, that's kind of the deal with that. So, but in this quiz, we have Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and the Z Team. Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and the Z Team. If you're interested in their records up to this point, we have Heritage New York has there are 3 high wins, a middle win, no lows. Falls Lightning, 3 high wins, 2 middle wins, and a low. And Face South Carolina, 2 high wins, 3 middle wins, and a low. And the Z Team, 5 high wins, no middle wins, and a low. If the Z Team survives this quiz, then the bye will go to them next round. So Face South Carolina gets a bye. If the Z Team survives, they're going to get a bye next round. So we know that because they've quizzed more, so it won't come to seeding or anything like that. So we know that in the next 2 quizzes, it will be Heritage New York and Falls Lightning. They're going to be in both of them. Heritage New York and Falls Lightning. They're going to quiz the Z Team. If they both win, then Z Team will be out. And so I guess we know that the next quiz, we know that this quiz is going to be New York, Lightning, and Z Team, and we know the next quiz is going to be New York, Lightning, and Face South Carolina because the team's going to be out or they're going to get the bye. So that's how we know. So that's how that runs down. The next quiz is Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and the Z Team. Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and the Z Team. We have Faith South Carolina with the bye. The quiz after this will be Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and Faith South Carolina. No matter what happens in this quiz, the quiz after it will be that. So it's not very often that happens. The Z Team will either be eliminated or will earn a bye. Those are the 2 options. So that's how that goes. So I always find that interesting. But that's how we got it. 4 teams left. The top 3 seeds from the round robin and Falls Lightning has had a wonderful afternoon. So anyway, that's what we have. Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, Face South Carolina, and the Z Team are the 4 teams left. We know the next 2 quizzes already. We know the next 2 quizzes, who they're going to be. I see them lining up. Who's that? I guess we have, that looks like Falls Lightning is going to be sitting in the middle. Let's see who else we got. Heritage New York and the Z Team are not. Heritage New York and the Z Team, I don't see them. I know they must exist. I know they're somewhere. I know they've had good quizzes all day. Yeah. So that's that. Again, one of the things that I was talking about, off air with someone, and I find this a fascinating discussion. And if you've been involved in Bible quiz, if you watch other games or sports or whatever, and you see the score, and after halftime or you're down 30 points, there's a demoralization effect. Usually it's like, man, we're getting killed. I'm not sure we can come back. And it becomes, to some degree, a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes easier for the team ahead to continue to go forward and win. On the other hand, when you have a 3-team event where 3 teams are participating and 1 team runs out into the lead. Hold on. When you have a 3-team event and 1 team holds on to the lead, the other 2 teams are often, they're not demoralized because they could still achieve a middle win. So there's something about the psychology of being behind early in a 3-team event where it's not quite as demoralizing. And even sometimes when you have 2 teams sneak out ahead and the 3rd team is behind, they don't do it. So hold on a second. Pastor John, what's going on? What's going on? Yes. And then Heritage against Falls Lightning and the Z Team, yes. Yeah. And after this quiz, the next quiz is going to be Heritage New York, Falls Lightning, and Faye South Carolina, no matter what happens in this next quiz. Because if the Z team loses, they're out. And if they win, they're going to get the bye. Because they have the most quizzes. So, there you go. All right. We were just talking to the director of the event, Pastor John O. Scott. And so we were just telling him what we were telling you on the air, and you guys heard it, so you don't need me to say it again. But just the demoralization effect seems to be less oftentimes in a 3-team quiz than anything else. Oh, yeah, we've got it, and yeah, we have a few sources coming up with it. So anyway, okay, it looks like we have the Z team sitting up there. We have Falls Lightning, and now New York. So we have all 3 teams getting up there, and that's kind of the deal with that. So we have 3 teams up there, New York, Z team, also known as Bethel Calvary, and Falls Lightning. They're about to start. And again, no matter what happens in this quiz, the next team will feature the same 2 teams on the edge. They may not sit there again, I don't know, but the Z team will be removed, and in will go Faith South Carolina. So we know the next 2 quizzes, what they will be. I think we're about to turn it over to the Doug. This is Matt West for CITV, signing off temporarily, not permanently, but signing off. Take it away, the Doug.
In the past, we've waited until we got to 3 teams, but the question cap is not here. Now, I'm not suggesting that you all see how many questions we can use, but it just means that we will not end short of 25, outside of 20 correctly answered questions. So, and that can be a very big deal, and hopefully it's not, but it could be. All right. Let's see. Before we start this quiz, Pastor Van Gelderen, would you lead us in prayer, please, sir?
Lord, we thank you for the wonderful work of the young people here. And Lord, there's been just, even if the team is still quizzing, Lord, there's been some incredible work done to get to the point that they did today. And we pray that you would bless now these last few rounds. And Lord, I'm personally in my own heart, I pray that you help me and the rest of us to please you with our spirit. And Lord, competition is a wonderful thing, but if we're in the flesh, it can be a negative. I pray you help all of us to respond well in adversity and also in victory or in defeat. So we pray that you would be pleased with this time. But we just want your smile upon this time. We thank you for your word, and that's why we're here. And we look forward to how you'll just work in our hearts now in Jesus' name.
Thank you. All right. I don't think I've ever seen a field of 12 that was more, I mean, I know 2 of you don't have a loss yet, but I think you've both been in quizzes where you were within 10 points of probably having a low. You know what I mean? It's just been incredibly close. I think every team has had highs and middles and lows at some point, except, of course, Heritage Mission. And did y'all have a loss at all yesterday, or did you have all highs and middles? You had a loss yesterday. Well, there you go. Go ahead. That's a good strategy. Get your loss on Friday.
2 this morning.
Oh, get your losses all prior to the real tournament. That's a good move. So are you telling me you had 3 losses? Wow. Well, that's way to quiz today. Way to quiz today. All right. We're ready to get started. Let me see all 11 lights at one time, please. Thank you. Question number 1. Question. What did one of the scribes, number 4?
Asked him which is the first commandment of all. Asked Jesus.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Toss-up question remaining, number 4. Parker.
Saw that he answered them well.
That is correct. Question 2. Question. Who was gathered, number 3? Caleb?
Who was gathered together in Mark? Much people.
No, I'm sorry.
That's right. That's good.
Toss-up question remaining teams. Question. Who was gathered together, number 4, humility?
All the city.
That's correct? Question 3, question, who cometh immediate? Number 4, humility,
Satan.
correct? Question 4 is a reference question. Question, what did Jesus answer according to Mark 15? Number 3, Carson.
15:30. He answered, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which should be interpreted, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
No, I'm sorry. Toss-up question, remaining teams. Number 4, humility,
He answered nothing.
correct?
Good job.
Question 5, question, according to 1 John 3:6, who? Number 1, David.
Whosoever abideth in him.
No, I'm sorry. Toss-up question. Okay, I've got fouls on both Heritage and Bethel Calvary. Toss-up question. I have fouls on both teams again. Toss-up question. I have a foul on Bethel Calvary. Toss-up question. Number 3, Joe.
Whosoever sinneth hath not seen him, neither known him.
Sorry, that's an error. That's too much information. My question was who hath not known him, just whosoever sinneth, so the other part. I have a free question for Bethel Calvary. Get back your foul, maybe. All right. When do we deceive ourselves in 1 John 1?
If we say that we have no sin.
Number 4, Parker.
If we say that we have no sin.
That's correct.
Go ball.
Question 5 repeated. It's a reference question. When did Jesus come with the 12 according to number 3?
In the
Yep.
evening.
That's correct. Question 6 is a reference question. Question, who sent unto Jesus according to Mark 3? Number 4, humility.
His mother and his brethren.
Correct? Question 7 is a finish this verse question. Question, finish this verse. No man. Number 2.
No man has seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us.
That's correct. I think we got all 3 of the no man. Or is there a 4th one? I'm forgetting.
Every single time.
All right. Question number 8 is a quote this verse question. Question, quote this verse. Mark 10:5. Number 2, Micah.
Mark 10:5. And Jesus answered and said to them, for the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this precept.
I'm sorry, we can't accept that. Toss-up question. Number 3, Carson.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, for the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this precept.
Correct. We heard you say said first before you switched to answer. Sorry.
Can I make an appeal?
Sure.
I don't believe I finished the word said. I think I stopped at like set. But
Yeah.
you could say I said the word, I said the D, but I don't think, I know that I caught myself before I said that, but it's your judgment whether you heard the D or not.
Yeah.
I know I didn't. But.
Well, that's kind of where we're at, and that's a nice quiz rule that I'm not even really sure exists. I've heard it used a couple times. I may have even used it a couple times myself that says that if you only say part of a word, it doesn't count. We both thought we heard enough to know that you were saying said. Sorry. Question number 9. According to Mark 2:11, what? Number 4.
Mark 2:11. What? take up thy bed?
That's correct. Question number 10. Question. Who is partaker? Number 5. John?
Who is partaker? He that biddeth him Godspeed. Him being the one that comes unto you and brings not this doctrine.
That's correct. All right, question 11 is a quote this verse. Question, quote this verse. Mark 8:30. Number 1, David.
8:30. And Jesus answered and said, "Who is my mother or my brethren?"
No, I'm sorry. Toss up question number 3, Carson.
But when he had turned about and looked on his disciples, he rebuked Peter, saying, "Get thee behind me, Satan, for I say it's not the things that be of God, but the things that be of man."
That's correct.
I would like to
No,
make an appeal.
That's not correct. Men, not man. I said it and then thought about it, and he was already yelling in my ear, and she was saying challenge, so sorry, I can't accept that. Okay, we have a free question for Heritage Mission. According to Mark 16:13, unto whom did they tell it?
Residue.
Number 4, John, or humility, sorry.
The residue.
That's correct for 10. Okay, timeout calls, and this will be question 11 repeated.
All right, if you're a fan of New York, you couldn't have asked for a better first 10 questions. 130 points. There's 200 points left. In order, it would be hard at this point for you to lose. We saw something in those first 10 questions you rarely see anymore. Teams losing 10 points to fouls. It just rarely happens. And we have Heritage Mission New York with 2 fouls already. So that is the one thing that probably could derail them. 10 questions to go, 200 points left. So it's still anybody's quiz, but you really got to like where you're at if you're Heritage New York. Falls, Wisconsin. Brought up this thing. I have never read in the AACS rule book that if you don't finish a word, it doesn't count. And he said that. I didn't know, and Mr. Douglas said he wasn't sure it was a rule either. Someone has a rule book. Take that out. Let's look it up. But this is Matt West, CITV. Turn it over to the Doug. Take it away, the Doug.
All right, time in. Question number 11. Question, according to Mark 10:31, who? Number 2, Micah.
Mark 10:31, who? Thou shalt love the neighbor as thyself.
No, I'm sorry. Toss up question remaining teams. Question, according to Mark 10:31, who shall? Number 3,
Who shall be? Many that first shall be last.
no, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's the other one. Who shall be first, the last. Free question. With whom is Jesus Christ our advocate in 1 John 2?
With the
John?
Father, Jesus Christ the righteous.
No, I'm sorry. It's just the
I would like to make an appeal. He said he said the Father with Jesus Christ the righteous, which, because I believe Jesus Christ the righteous was already in your question, that saying both of them in his answer is
The
not.
last part, our righteous, was not in my question, and so I'm not going to accept it. All right, we're going to try 11 again. This is a finish this verse question. Question, finish this verse, but the woman, number 2, Micah.
But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth.
That's correct. Question 12 is a reference question. Question, with whom does the Lord come, according to Jude Number 2, Micah,
with 10,000s of his saints.
correct? Question 13. Question number 13. Question. Where would they be beaten?
In Mark. In the synagogues.
That's correct. Time out for Heritage Mission.
All right. Again, if you're Heritage, you kind of got to feel okay. There's 7 questions left. By my math, that's 140 points. So some of you smart people say, well, if those are split 70-70, that's 130, 130, 130. But let me let you in on a little secret. You can't split a question in half. So it's got to go 80 to one team and 60 to the other. So Heritage Mission, if they don't make a mistake or get another foul, they're safe. They should be safe. Having said that, the Z team and Falls Lightning are both, they're competing, and they're head-to-head, they're close, and I'm anxious to see how this turns out. So, it's Matt West for CITV. Turn over to the Doug. Take it away, the Doug.
All right. This is question number 14. Question number 14, question. According to Mark 5:17, what? Number 2, Micah?
According to Mark 5:17, what? They began to pray and to depart out of their coasts.
That is correct. Question number 15. It's a reference question. Question. How many loaves did they say they had? Number 4, Parker.
7.
That's correct. Question number 16. Question. What was Herodias's? Number 4,
In Mark.
Cara.
The head of John the Baptist.
That is correct.
Get another timeout, Dave.
Timeout for Heritage Mission.
All right, I'm guessing Mr. Lofgren just called that timeout for New York for the express purpose of telling this team, don't get up! Don't get up, you can lose! Just stay there! I don't know if that's what he's saying, but if I were the coach, that's what I would say. See, I'm really good at math. Getting a good quiz team together has never been my forte, but once there's a good team, I can tell them how to do the math. So anyway, but again, Falls and Bethel Calvary head-to-head. Kara got up on that one. I felt like that was 50-50 maybe 33-67 or something. It was, she had to pick the right one. She did, good job. But New York was fighting to get up first on that one, and that's why I think Mr. Lofgren's going to tell them, don't get up. Anyway, this is exciting quizzing. You got Parker and Carson both capable of getting questions. Let's see if they do or if Falls pulls it out. This is Matt West for CITV. I'm turning it over to the Doug. Ooh, did they just call a second timeout? Is that a second timeout? Okay, apparently they were granted extra time on
All
that
right,
timeout.
time in.
But turn over to the Doug. Take it away, the Doug.
Question number 17. Question. Through where would Jesus not suffer? Number 4, Parker.
Through the temple.
That is correct. Question number 18. Question. What did the elder wish? Number 4, Parker.
That thou mayest prosper and be in health. More specifically, even as thy soul prospereth.
That is correct. Question number 19. Question. According to 1 John 4:2. What? Number 1, David.
every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is of God.
That is correct. Question number 20. Question. What are not grievous? Number 4, Parker.
His commandments are not grievous.
That is correct. All right, Falls,
All right,
that
Z
is,
team
your
gets the
first
high
loss,
win.
So everyone is still in, and
And-
Parker quizzed out on that question. And I just need somebody to tell us who's next.
Okay. Give them Z team gets the bye. All right. All right. So Z team gets the high win, and they're going to get the bye. So good for them. They're still in it. They get the bye. Falls Lightning gets their first low. They're moving to 3, 2, and 1, and New York moves to three high wins, 2 middle wins, no lows. So here we are. We are going to need to pause 10 seconds for station identification.